Yo, you now tune into the first episode of the 10 Toes Down podcast. It's your boy King Haas.
And it's your girl, Goddess Kia.
And you got Shaka L Bay in the building.
What's good, guys? And man, we gonna give y'all a host of everything from hip hop, politics, history, financial literacy. We just gonna go ahead and give y'all everything in one big pot, one big gumbo, man. So we ain't gonna go ahead and talk our heads over. We gonna get into the first topic. The Diddy man. Did he do it? Did he do it?
Did he do it?
Maybe he did. That boy just popping up all over the algorithm every single day. Now they suing. What's going on, Kia?
Well, allegedly. Make sure we say this.
Yeah, no. His son's getting sued.
Yeah. He's getting sued. How old is Mr. King Combs? How old is he?
I think it's like mid-20s, 25, 26.
Oh man.
What's the details of it, Shaq? Give me the details of it.
He's not the
King
baby.
is 26 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And they're defendants in a new lawsuit that alleges that the son assaulted a young woman, allegedly on a yacht in December of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one thing you got to keep in mind is that for them to come after him now or to start to do this, they had to have been on a watch list since at least December of 2022. We're talking about 2 years later.
Now, for the people that don't know,
year and a half
break down what a watch list is.
Well, what happens is if, there is reason or if something happens, somebody makes a complaint about something, and what happens is, according to the law, you have to have a complaint made against you because that's basically your right. Your rights are protected by that. So you have to have what's called a verified complaint. A verified complaint goes through protocol. It goes through a protocol where it gets in front of a judge. The judge looks at it and garners whether it's worthy of a warrant. Now, an actual warrant, is produced, and then they then come after the person or the place and the things that need to be seized and searched for.
Who is they?
Now,
FBI, CIA?
It could be. We talking about all of the alphabet boys.
All the alphabet
boys.
All the alphabet boys.
The
So
A,
what
B, C,
happens
Q,
is-
A, L, B, L, N, L, C?
Yeah.
Right. So what
I was worried about
happens
the
is
FBI
this.
and IRS, but go ahead. I'm with
You got to keep in mind that
That's a shame.
for them to come after Diddy in the manner that they did off of a lawsuit. Now, this guy, Little Rod, basically was, he filed a lawsuit based off of the work or, the lack of compensation or the work. But then he started giving so much more
Details.
information and detail of things that he witnessed.
Had that with the Cassie situation.
That what it did was it made the alphabet boys go, you know what? We were right to kind of keep our eye on this guy. You know what I'm saying? Because that goes back to a situation, especially the one where the young brother G, supposedly had an incident with, allegedly
getting murdered by, and they both was there.
With the suspects in question.
Yeah.
We'll say that.
Yeah, allegedly.
And then, all of this stuff about how the story was changed and all of this other stuff. So that, along with Cassie, who also could have made extra
Extra what?
extra claims about things.
Yeah,
So
I'm
she's
pretty
co-
sure
she's-
the feds probably talked to her already.
So what happens is now you have
Wow.
a situation where there is a preponderance of evidence or preponderance of circumstantial means that would garner further investigation.
Now let me ask you a question, because right now online the thing is you see, oh, they're tearing another black man down, this, that, and third, all this other nonsense. And before I get into that part, a lot of people not aware of the lawsuit that he has against the liquor, that particular liquor company. I forget the name of the liquor company.
DeLeon and Sarah.
So you haven't been in the industry for all the time that you have and know how things works. Do you think that the lawsuit has something to do with them coming at him?
Anything is possible. I'm not going to sit here and say that it is, because I look at each situation differently, but I'm not naive enough to think that one situation can
affect the other.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
let me ask y'all a question.
Possible.
I'm listening.
The beginning, right? In the beginning, there was a video where someone was trying to pronounce the beginning, and they said that's how our children would sound once they get back to school from COVID, all messed up. Anyway, so I have a habit of saying that in the beginning. However, this started from Cassie, right? What led her to doing that? Did someone approach her? He did, prior to her coming out, I don't know if it was the BET Awards or whatever it was, he mentioned her name out of the blue, and in a good way. Although he was with Carissa, but he went on that stage and was like, thank you, Cassie, for supporting me. Now, they haven't been together in forever. She has literally 2 children and a husband, and he just randomly just said that, and then boom, not long after that, this situation happened with her. And I have one more question. She got paid within a few days with no substantial evidence out in the public the way this young man has done. Like, he's showing photos, he has videos, he has all of that.
She probably had that in the tuck, and he was like, nah, I can't allow this to go ahead and go on. Yo, just give her what she want and get her the hell out of here.
Not thinking that there will be a domino effect.
Not thinking that's going to be a domino effect. So now, like,
why did she do it? Because this is the very beginning of how this all started.
I mean, you could go back to Kim. It was issues with Kim and her death, allegedly. You know what I'm trying to say? And her, you hear Gene Deal talk about how he was abusing Kim, his baby mother Kim, and doing other things.
Yeah, see, that's a little. That's
hearsay and speculation.
Yeah.
but
why did Cassie do that?
My thing is this.
That's hearsay.
My thing is this. At the end of the day, it's kind of like, normally I'm a listen, man. If you ain't convicted in the court of law, then you know what I mean. I'm not gonna go ahead and go against some type of brother. But in this case, the dealer, I don't. When you got 30+ years,
yeah. Listen, man, I'm conflicted because
you know what I'm saying?
The
Why?
brother is a friend of mine. He's a personal friend of mine. So I'm not about condoning kicking a brother when he's down, because
I am. But go
there's
ahead.
a lot of situations where
You ain't
when one of our own is going through adversity,
I agree.
we got everybody ready to pounce on a person. I mean,
But is that the case here?
Right, wrong, or indifferent. You know what I'm saying? If he is, then let's let the situation play out.
I agree.
And if he isn't, you know what I mean? This is the thing.
Think he guilty of something else.
Let's say,
What's your gripe with him? Why are you already convicting the man?
Listen, the only thing that I will convict the brother of is being a very shrewd businessman.
Oh, he's a smart businessman.
So
biggest paper gangster ever.
I will convict him of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But where you have a whole bunch of different stories coming out about different things, you got pros and cons on just about every aspect of what's going on. I would say let's let this situation play out. But this is the kicker about it. Let's say he's in a situation where he's not guilty of
that particular situation.
Most of those things. We have this new thing called social media.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? That will convict you in an instant.
That is true.
Before the conviction.
How's he going to get away from that?
Can we all have a vote in prediction who votes that he will be found guilty?
I don't think. I mean, listen. Just because somebody did it, don't mean they're gonna be found guilty. Like when you got that type of money, you can go ahead and wiggle out anything. That's how I look at it.
Well,
Anything's possible. Like with Harvey Weinstein, we didn't think they was gonna get Harvey Weinstein, but they got him. But I feel like in that situation, when you a powerful person and you got more powerful people backing you, as long as you're financially able to make them money, they're gonna go ahead and hold you down, right or wrong. But the second that cash flow stops, they're gonna go ahead and kick you to the curb. Look at, I think I'll give you an analogy also, I'm gonna make it quick. How like when Bobby Shmurda got locked up, right? The reason why Bobby Shmurda got locked up, I mean, well, besides what's going on, he had no more hit records. If you had more hit records, he wouldn't have spent that much time in prison.
So then
they would have kept him out longer.
Why Tory Lanez then? Because Tory Lanez was popping, especially during COVID.
Tory's different.
Why?
That's a whole nother.
He was popping
animal altogether. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But like Kodak Black, right?
Yeah.
Kodak Black is popping like crazy, and he's always in and out of trouble with the law. But because he's making them a shitload of money, they're gonna keep on making sure Kodak good.
But this is the thing: is he really making them a shitload of money? Like, cause I never heard any music out with Kodak Black. I mean,
lately,
but you can hear a whole bunch of music.
But Kodak got some joints.
It doesn't mean you making money.
Joints.
Yeah,
I mean, I know he got some joints, but what's the last song that he actually put out that really bopped?
Like I'm not a Kodak fan like that. So
exactly.
But
because you would have known the song.
Now, I mean, you know what? Let's say it might have been a feature. It might have been a collab with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of music come out, and we, you know, the hip hop game is.
But over the last 5 years, like, you know what I mean? If you talking about consistency, whether it was him putting out albums or him doing features, Kodak Black is one of the most consistent artists out here. And for a label to go ahead, like all these cases getting dropped, like the alleged rape case in South Carolina, all the drug cases, the gun, you know what I mean? All how these people, just for me, understanding how this industry is or whatever. As long as you making us money, we'll tolerate anything. Just like no different than if you a basketball player, no different than if you were NFL player or whatever. As long as you helping us generate and make the bottom line, we gonna go ahead and tolerate and deal with your bullshit.
Okay, so what would you say is the line? Where is the line drawn? Because
there's no line.
There's no line.
Weinstein was making them a boatload of money.
But Harvey's too hot. He had to be the fall guy.
The powers
right.
to be.
Then there is an apparent line.
Yeah.
The 1% is controlling everything, so they decide whether you're going to be convicted during the time or they decide not. I mean, it's a game. We're the puppets. We're the new generation of slaves, and they decide whether it's just or not unjust or just.
Let's keep it real with these record labels, right? And you know better than anybody. Like, the people that really run these labels, not the faces they put in front, the people behind the scenes that really run these labels, they're tied into law enforcement. So guess what? If they want to go ahead and squash an indictment or something, they can make a phone call or whatever, and you don't have to deal with nothing. But if they want to sit you down because they feel that you're not abiding by the rules and regulations that they put forth,
right,
they're gonna go ahead and make that phone call and tell them, yo, do X, Y, Z. They tied in together.
Yeah.
The Alphabet Boys control everything.
Yeah.
They control the music. They control the entertainment world. They control the schools, the school system. They control everything.
They know what's going on. Like you can't tell me y'all don't know who killed Pac and Big. Because the Alphabet, you want to talk about Alphabet Boys, the FBI was following them the nights that they got killed. Y'all know who killed Pac and Big. Y'all been could have found Pac murderer. I'm just getting on topic, but I'm just showing you how everything's tied in, how people know what's going on. If you're a big major artist, there's some type of law enforcement that's following you around all the time wherever you go in whatever city that you're in. Mm-hmm. Like, as soon as a rapper comes from the West Coast and comes over here to New York, you know that. As soon as he touches down, there's some type of law enforcement that's following him around. Same thing if a rapper from New York go to LA. That's why you can't tell me y'all don't know who all these robins, all these murders. Y'all know what's going on.
You know what that sound
entertainment police.
Like?
That's the entertainment
right. You
police.
got the hip hop police, but then I gotta go. It sounds like a very, very old, familiar analogy.
What is that?
What came first, the chicken or the egg?
The chicken or the egg?
Because did we do that much that had to be done, or was it manufactured and created by the system in place?
Facts.
In order for this protocol to be done. You know what I mean? Because now you have a situation where, okay, let's go back, to early 90s, 2000s, even though it might have been something that was already in place, and apparently it was, because even when you go back to, Big and Pac and all that other stuff, you still had, like, nuances of these things in place. You know what I mean? You had people that were infiltrating. It's almost like it was espionage in hip hop.
It's crazy. I'm not gonna get into detail, but true story. And my partner D in the background, he'll tell you we was in a situation where a couple years back we had somebody around us that was hip hop police, and we didn't know. To after the fact that the person was hip hop police. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm not gonna say how I found out or whatever.
You got informants that
you don't know who. Like you might be with a crew, crew your niggas or whatever, and that one person that's trying to amp you up to go ahead and shoot somebody or do some crazy shit or whatever. Well, it's that cop, and you don't know he police or a snitch or whoever or what have you. This game's so dirty and nasty. You don't know who's who nowadays.
But this has been happening since the ancient times. This is nothing new under the sun. This is in Jesus Christ days, AD. This has been happening. These systems, the Da Vinci family, those are old 100,000 families. This has been orchestrated since ancient times. I was watching a little short film with my mentor about Shang Li, and the emperor brought him in and told him he wants to train his military, and he said he can do it. He can train them to win. And he tested him to train the concubines, the actual concubines in the emperor castle, and sure enough he did. This is nothing new under the sun.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what we got to really truly understand. This is deeper. The rabbit hole goes goes
real deep. So it's just crazy. King Combs, I don't know if you did it or not, but you know what I mean? If you did do it, you black down the trunk, grabbing chicks' crotches left and right. And
okay, so let's bring it.
You agree
let's
with that?
bring it full circle.
Are we grabbing crotches?
Yeah, allegedly.
Well,
allegedly.
Crotch grabbing little nigga.
It's something going on.
He looks slimy.
So
I think he did it. But anyway,
it says.
Yeah, he got this slimy look on his face.
Oh man.
So it says.
I don't think Quincy did it though. Quincy seemed like a good kid.
Well, I mean,
he's shy. He's very shy.
I mean, this whole. I think everybody's good, but it
you never know
on the environment, what your influences are, and everything.
But I put my money on King Kong.
Okay,
well,
so it says Christian is accused of assault and battery, sexual assault, and intentional infliction of emotional distress, according to a complaint filed April 4th and obtained by Rolling Stone.
Boy.
Sean Combs is named in the lawsuit since he chartered the luxury yacht where the assault was said to have taken place. So now this is it. You have all of these things that are occurring, and it don't really help that this happened. This is like the latest thing that happened, and it kind of happened around the same time with the raid and all that other
everything
stuff.
else.
So it's not a good look
at all. Bottom line, somebody's pissed off.
Yep.
Somebody's pissed off. Now before we switch topics, Stevie J, man, I love you. You did some good hits. I mean, you had some good hits back in the day, man.
Talented guy.
Brother, you can't beat 50 1-on-1. 50 will mop the floor with you. You're a big guy. You're a good wrestler. I seen you fight Benzino. You ain't beating 50.
Oh, they had a fight. Him
and Stevie J, hip hop.
Stevie J
and Benzino, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Love hip hop. Stevie J can't fight.
That's
Stevie J cannot fight. He's big. He one of them guys you gotta make sure he don't get you, so he don't wrestle you down to the ground. Stevie J can't fight.
I take in.
So Stevie,
a scripted,
but still,
performance.
But still, he ain't had no form. You know what I'm saying?
That was a scripted performance.
You remember back in the day how Melo allegedly snuffed him out for over Lala back in the day?
Yeah, well, yeah.
But Melo is 6'8", about 230, 240.
Well, yeah. I mean, look.
But short niggas will be a big nigga in a minute though. You know what I'm saying? You got, you know what I mean? Just because you big don't mean you could beat it. I done seen 5'5" niggas knock out niggas that's like 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah.
We're not encouraging fighting.
We're not encouraging fighting, but
right, we don't.
To all the kiddies here.
But Stevie J, just leave it alone. Let 50 just be 50.
Especially, our brothers and sisters.
You know what I mean? If you want to support like Puff, support them behind closed doors, bro. Don't do that in public. You know what I mean?
So,
and Stevie, if I'm Puff, Stevie J's the last nigga I want kind of voucher for me anyway. No disrespect, but your face card ain't all that good, brother. Just stick to doing reality TV.
Let me ask you guys something. This was not
Stevie J, man.
This was not our topic. This was not our.
His ones and twos. He's a really really
he's a good guy. He's a talented dude.
Producer. You know what I mean? And as a producer, I.
But 101, 50 mopped the floor.
He is defending himself after all the things that 50 posted.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
But let me ask you guys a question. Why is 50 going so hard? This was not on our topic of discussion, but he's going very hard with Diddy. And I predict that he is, I don't want to use the word bitter because I don't like when people use bitter with women. But he's very salty about Diddy being with the mother of his son.
And her being in that lawsuit. So now it's like, it's an embarrassment for him.
No. Before the lawsuit, before her being in the lawsuit, just the idea of her being with Diddy kind of rubs him the wrong way. Yeah, he was I want to ask you guys a question. What do you feel about that? Because he was dating Cuban Link, very gorgeous, beautiful young lady, very intelligent young woman. Mm-hmm. And why would he feel any type of way if the mother of his child is moving on to be with Diddy? And do you think that Diddy is going hard like this because
I'm a Cancer, so I can explain it.
Oh, is Diddy a Cancer?
No, 50.
Because you Cancer is sensitive.
Oh, I'm a Cancer Leo, so I'm not. You know what I mean?
So 50's a Cancer.
You claiming Cancer, so let's hear the Cancer
side.
Let's
hear the Cancer side.
It's just the petty side. It's just who he's thinking. He's thinking anybody but that nigga.
Like, why you went to him?
Anybody but him.
I know we not together, but you
could have picked any nigga in the world, but you picked him. Right. That's what he's thinking.
So then you saying that
he's aggravated, but he's passive aggressive, so he's showing it that way.
Right. But that means he feels like
if you picked anybody else, you would have heard from him.
Even if he's not with her, he should be dictating
what she does.
Where her heart.
It's interesting.
Maybe a little bit, but
why a little bit? You were Cuban Link.
I'm just explaining. In his mind, he's thinking anybody but him.
I mean,
we've all been there before.
I wouldn't have made that move.
Well, I'm a Cancer. Well, I've been there before. I get.
So now, this
a little salty. Yeah.
Okay, you admit
a little salty.
Hold on. Now this has led him to take her to court for child support, claiming she's a sex slave. What do you think about that? Because now they're dragging the kids into it. They drag the son into it, and allegedly women do this all the time, right? But now here's a full-grown ass man that's literally taking the mother of his child to court for full custody because allegedly she's with this whole thing and she's a sex slave. So now that really shows how salty he is.
So Mr. Power of the hour
that's
taking his baby mother to child support
for full custody because of this.
Yeah, 48 laws of power. He waiting for his time.
For full custody.
For full custody of the child.
He's been waiting for his time.
I want to be fair. She put out one thing about me and even if we're going through whatever we're going through with the brothers.
Don't put out no false allegations.
The false allegations with sexual stuff and being raped, don't do that. Don't do that because that leads a man to be doing jail time that's unnecessary. But I'm just saying, but she put out, I'm being threatened, you raped me and all this other stuff. So they're going back and forth because of Diddy. And this is crazy. And now the son is involved and he's, full custody. I'm like, Diddy, really? Really?
He probably looking at it like
not Diddy 50, really?
He probably looking at it like, yo, you know what I mean? For all we know, if the lawsuit is alleged, so we don't know if it's true or not. But let's say if it is true, then you've been, you working as one of his little sex workers, allegedly, or whatever. So if that's the case, maybe 50 knows something that we all don't know. And that's why he being passive aggressive.
He posted her standing next to Diddy, damn near holding like hands or whatever. Like
40 laws of power.
What do that got?
40 laws of power. Annihilate your enemy at all costs.
All right, listen.
Sorry, fans.
Yeah.
So basically,
Would you do it?
We're about to move on from this.
Yeah, we're about to move on.
That was the cue.
Yeah, that definitely was the
Time
cue.
to move on.
But you know,
I wish you well, 50. You know,
we not
just
beating
don't
a
drag
dead
your son
horse
into
when he
this.
down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I am.
He's still my brother. You know what I'm saying? I got love for him.
That's all right.
You know, and I want to see
That
the
Ciroc
man
is
come
trash
out.
anyway. I never liked
see
it.
him rise from these ashes like a phoenix.
Successful black man.
You know what I mean? So
I hope they bury you 6 feet
where I
under.
stand on it.
What?
We that's right.
That's interesting.
Yeah. We, you know what I mean? It's okay. We gonna agree, disagree. Next topic.
Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and go on a more serious topic.
What?
I learned some information recently on Rosa Parks. Now, Shock is about to go ahead and take this situation over, but before he does, we're gonna give y'all tidbits of history that you don't hear in other places. Because a lot of times, especially nowadays, they're taking a lot of books out the libraries. They're changing up a lot of history, and you have these fake YouTube historians that call themselves giving you history, but they're redoing history in the wrong way without no facts, without actual verification or what have you.
Rosa Parks allegedly was a plant by the NAACP. You're going to have to do your research on that organization, but they are, you know, an organization that do a lot of activism that fights for the rights of black people, aka African Americans specifically, which we shouldn't be calling each other any of those names, right? And once we, you know, learn our history and who we really and truly are as Moors. But that's a whole nother story. As indigenous people, as native people, as aboriginal people, as the nuclear family in this earth and in this universe. But Rosa Parks was allegedly planted by the NAACP because the first person they handpicked was very young. She's around 17 years old, and allegedly was pregnant by a 35-year-old or a man much older than her, and they were not married. So Rosa Parks was up as the second person, and the reason for this boycott to be public, right, to make it very public and very known, to make it entice it, was because they wanted to go and do the boycott. If you guys remember the boycott, that's when Martin Luther King stepped in and he was like, look, we don't like what's going on and we're no longer going to ride the bus. So in essence, if that is true, she was a plant, but she was a plant for allegedly a good cause, right? Although the NAACP that we know today is not really doing much for us, just like the Black Lives Matter, and we're not going to get too much into that detail. But after she got arrested, after everything became public, that's when the boycott started. But I must say, in fairness, the boycott was a success. This is the reason why we're able to ride the MTA in New York City right now to this day and get paid for it, because not only did we fight to not just sit anywhere in the bus, but we said, hey, what the hell, we're doing a good job, so we're going to drive the bus. And so that's how this all began. If we boycott now, we would definitely make moves like they did, during the 1950s and 1960s with Martin Luther King. So yeah, she was a plant, and you got to remember, all of these organizations that are activist organizations, they don't exist unless some racism is happening.
Facts.
So not only are we dealing with the fake news, but we're dealing with these organizations plotting to do things like this so that we can go out and protest, and it never makes a difference anyway. But that's a whole nother story.
And
so yes, allegedly, and Kanye made that viral. He said Rosa Parks was a plant. He made that viral.
See, Kanye be on point. He just, a lot of times, he's somebody that's all over the place. So he'll give you bits and pieces. So if you don't really listen to the whole scenario, how he breaks it down, because sometimes he takes a while to go ahead and get to the point, then you just, to the average person, it sounds like, oh, he just sounds crazy. Until you, like, instead of listening to the viral clip or the viral short, you listen to the whole synopsis of what he's saying, and you realize, oh shit, he's actually making a lot of sense. But you gotta
remember too, with the propaganda and these little clickbaits and thumbnails, they make him go crazy with those little clicks and thumbnails and all that stuff. And so you have no choice but to go back and listen to the whole content of stuff, because they're going to push the narrative to make him be crazy and every other person who's against the 1%, so to speak.
the one thing that I'll say, because all of this kind of ties in together, it's all under one umbrella. And I'll say this.
Oh, the mercy.
COINTELPRO.
Oh, man. That's what we really
Go
should be
look that
talking
up.
about. J. Edgar Hoover.
It'll yield you quite the results.
I went ahead and I was doing some research, and they don't know that he's part black. I ain't know he's part. Well,
mulatto. Mixed.
This is I think he's like his mother was like half black or something, half indigenous or whatever.
There's a lot of people when you start looking at the history, because a lot of it was whitewashed.
You'd
be surprised.
Him. Who else?
You know,
Eisenhower was mixed also.
Listen,
mixed.
A lot of them. You would call. We called them amalgamated. They're amalgamated, and then
that's a fact.
There would you have. Now mulatto is more of a general term.
It really is.
But then you have what's called octoroons, quadroons, and it's another rune that I forget. You know what I mean? And it's just the percentage of melanin in your genetic line.
Listen, one drop of chocolate is over.
One is like a quarter. One is an eighth.
Copy. I get what you're saying.
And these are levels. This is why you can have somebody like
Sound like drugs to me, but anyway, go ahead.
Then you could have, people like, let's say, Adam Clayton Powell. You know what I'm saying?
Another one.
Baddest nigga in Congress.
Who's a brother? Now he did his ones and twos. Shout out to that brother and his family.
He did his ones and twos.
Because I'm real cool with his grandson. You know what I'm saying? His grandson. It's my man's.
Adam handled his
Shout out
business.
to you, my brother. You know what I mean?
Douglas.
He
was doing some sneaky stuff on the table as well. Also,
right. You got a lot of people out there that are like that. That you really aren't aware that there was some melanin in their lineage. You know what I'm saying? You got even people say Washington. They talk about Lincoln. You got all
Lincoln.
of these different historians. Historical figures that they, we saw them in the textbooks a certain way
as a white person.
You know what I mean? Because just like what they're doing in Egypt now, they going in there and
whitewashing everything.
They're repainting the hieroglyphs to lighten them up. You know what I'm saying?
Get a little color.
Right. But
ancient Kemet.
Right.
Absolutely.
But the thing is, they don't realize that some of the older pyramids are over there in South America. And those still have the image of yours
melanated
and
people.
Yours and my ancestors. You know what I'm saying?
But don't listen.
So why is it now? Let me ask you this question. Why is it now that, especially like in schools, I notice with the younger people, with the younger generation, they seem to be wiping out our history. Like it's like when you talk to these younger kids, like the teenagers nowadays, right? They don't have a clue. Like I come from ever like you knew your history. You know what I'm trying to say? But now these younger kids don't have a clue about, quote unquote, you want to say black history, melanin. You know what I'm trying to say?
It's a societal thing. You know what I mean? It comes down to the fact that when we were all growing up, we still had big brothers in our neighborhood. We had a generation ahead of us, or 2 generations ahead of us, that still was willing to impart wisdom.
Put us on the game.
You know what I'm saying? But then you got to a certain point where there was a generation that really didn't reach back. You know what I'm saying? To the generation ahead to try to bring them forward. So now you have a lot of younger people.
You think that changed in the crack era?
It could have, because there was a lot of men weren't there. You know what I'm saying?
What?
There was a lot of there was a lot going on. There was a lot going on. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
A lot of pain.
There was a lot going on.
J. Edgar Hoover, COINTELPRO.
Right. Right, because all of this is part of a systematic design to really just to dissect and destroy the melanated family.
Y'all gotta remember, we had the Black Panthers, we had Martin Luther King, we had Malcolm X, we had
Carmichael.
We had so much powerful movement. Powerful movements going all over, right? So that's what COINTELPRO was, to make sure that never happened, because they couldn't keep afloat. It was really hard, right? And so now they're just washing away, the history, but some of it needs to be washed away.
You know what's crazy? And I was reading up with something, right? And about the Panthers and how when they started having their issues or what have you, right? So in the articles, these are articles back in the 70s, right? They talking about East Coast, West Coast Panther War. How the Panthers on the West Coast didn't trust the Panthers on the East Coast, and vice versa. And who we thought that the Panthers on the East Coast, when he was on the East Coast, was trying to assassinate him and all this other crazy stuff going on. And look what happens, like 20 years later, you got the East Coast, West Coast hip hop war. So they run the same plays.
Listen,
the number one strategy of war is division.
Mm-hmm.
They did that to the Indians, right? They did it to the natives here. Go whisper in someone's ear, he don't like you, and vice versa. That is the number one strategy of war, division. That's why the 1% is that we kind of, that's why colorism is so big. That's why division, even between the whites and the blacks, the division is the war strategy, the number one war strategy. So of course, somebody told them on the East Coast and had him paranoid. Somebody told them on the West Coast and had them paranoid. This is what they do. That's how they are able to stay.
And they did
in
the
power.
same thing with Chairman Fred in Chicago. Because if you do your history, Chairman Fred was trying to bring all the gangs under that Black Panther umbrella. So like, there was a little while there where it's kind of like you had the I think I touched on this before on a different podcast. You had the Black P Stone Nation, the Vice Lords Nation, and another group of brothers. I forget their names.
The GDs.
Nah, they wasn't GDs at the time. They was disciples, but the GD thing didn't come a couple years later.
I know what you're talking
They was under David Barksdale at the time, because Larry Hoover, if you do your history, he was a supreme gangster at the time.
I know who you're talking
and then, you know what I mean? That's a whole nother history lesson altogether. But was because they were going around to different sites in Chicago, right? Construction sites, pretty much telling them like, yo, y'all not gonna build nothing without putting us on.
Facts.
Right. And all they did was they
and these the mob guys that was running the construction joints at the time, but they were saying it like, nah, they don't like by that time, we didn't give a damn, we didn't give a fuck about no mob. Like, nah, we our own mob.
We gonna shut this shit
down. We gonna shut this whole shit down unless you give us jobs.
Nobody gonna eat. If we don't eat,
y'all not gonna eat.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? And keep in mind that same tactic is what they are using today.
And they got it from us. So those brothers, Fred Hampton was the one that put those brothers together. You know what I'm trying to say? So it was getting so crazy where the Black P Stone Nation, Jeff Fort, Chief Malik, Free Chief Malik, was going to go ahead and come into, he's a Mo also, you know what I mean? Peace to Islam, to the chief or whatever, revolutionary in my eyes, but that's another story for another day. He was supposed to come into the Black Panther Party.
It would have made it
so, at that time, the Black P Stone Nation was the biggest organization. I don't call them gangs. They didn't come into they end up being gangs later on once the government went ahead and broke it down. But he was organized. He had about 50,000 people on there, and they was about to come into the Black Panther organization.
So what stopped it?
What stopped it was that COINTELPRO. So they tried. They sent the letters. Got Huey thinking. Not Huey. Got Fred Hampton thinking that he's plotting on him and vice versa. So, but Jeff knew enough. Chief Malik knew enough to know like, nah, something not right here.
Right.
So he didn't take the bait and go at Chairman Fred like they wanted him to. So he just went ahead and fell back from the situation. And then within a 2 or 3 year period, they killed they killed or arrested the heads of some of the heads of the Black Peace Stone Nation, the Vice Lord Nation, Panther Party, and you know what I mean. So then within 2 or 3 years, it went from everybody being together to now brothers are back in the street murdering each other and killing each other now.
Right.
Within a 3-year period.
And this is the thing you gotta understand.
And I'm gonna let you spit your wisdom, but and it's funny how like something like that could happen in the community in 50, 60 years later, it still has an effect. Because look at the gang violence that's going on in Chicago now, that's spread throughout the country. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's all senseless, man. It's all senseless. And you can look at, there's an extensive dossier on the COINTEL program. Because COINTEL is an acronym for Counterintelligence Program. You know what I'm saying? So it's something that is a system. And once the system is set in place, what happens is it starts to run. And it's almost like it's on autopilot. It's rinse, wash, rinse and recycle, you know, or whatever that is. You know, it's a cycle that all they got to do is drop one little element into the situation, and it continues to do the same thing over and over again. These people have a blueprint, and one thing that I would say is that they will not change their blueprint because it's been working for them.
Yeah, they keep on running the same play.
Play action. All we have to do now is realize it, come together,
facts,
organize, and we could change this shit in a day.
That's a fact. We
could change this whole psyop. We could come.
Do your research on that word.
We could wake up from this psyop dream because that's all it is.
Do your research on that word.
Psyop
that's a
dream
whole nother conversation.
On, and all we got to do is come together and just say, I want for my brother the same as myself.
Well, I want for myself.
I want for my sister the same as myself. That's all we got to do, because there are other races of people who may bicker and fight and have their disagreements, but they're not at each other's throats. You know what I'm saying? And they're not instinctively driven to just kill a person that looks like them.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So what happens is you have all of these other ethnic groups who have a culture of communing. You know what I'm saying? And we have a culture of dividing. What are we going to do to change that?
That wasn't our history before, but as a
current. What are we willing to sacrifice to change it?
That's a $1 million question. See, we have to have the understanding of what our history. See, because now it's kind of like our history gets so diluted that it's on us to go ahead and teach the youngers or whatever, because they're not gonna get it from school, and sometimes they're not getting it from some of their parents neither nowadays. Because and then it's kind of like when you do get the information, you gotta know if it's the right or wrong information, because a lot of times people get the information from TikTok and Instagram, but they don't verify the information. So it's kind of like, hey, you could get something that sounds good, but you need to go do the research and verify whether this is true or not. Don't just go ahead and go off of what you see in the meme.
Question everything: who, what, when, where, why, and how. If it doesn't, because you are an intelligent being and you have to operate from your genius cells, okay? Facts. And that means you got to reframe that. Like, that's just go back to the basics, you know. Because they are erasing the books, they are erasing certain things, but always question stuff, because once you do the who, what, when, where, why, and how, it's going to all come back to full circle. If it don't make sense, the math got to be mathing. I agree. Even within history, there's going to be that little hole, and you're going to say something ain't right. And even if you ask a person who, what, when, where, or how, and they give you an answer, doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Question that, right? Question it and do your research thoroughly. There's some hidden gems. There's some books somewhere where you can find the truth. But even within books and stuff like that, you still got to just question everything. Just question everything. Question it. Right. All of the history is in your DNA. All you have to do is invoke that by asking a question and using your common sense. And that's it. Now
I got a question. Transfer, now we about to switch over now.
Yeah.
J. Cole. I love him to death. That's my guy. Why the hell would you apologize to Kendrick Lamar? It's hip hop, bro.
What's wrong
It's
with
hip hop.
that?
You know what I mean? Kendrick had a dope record. J. Cole record, to me, J. Cole record was subpar. But that's just me. Some people might feel it differently. But it's kind of like, and then you go ahead and apologize for putting out the record. Like, nah, man, that's hip hop. That's not competition, bro. That's like LeBron James. That's like Kevin Durant apologizing to LeBron James for going ahead and hitting that 3-point over him to win the championship back in 2016, 2017. Nah.
Yeah.
It's all part of the game.
I don't know how I really feel about it because I don't know what would have been his motivation to do that.
To do
you know
what?
I'm saying?
Did somebody threaten you or something?
To go out there and apologize.
His motivation.
Now, there's a couple of different ways you can look at it. You can look at
Please
it just
do.
by way of, okay, we don't want to, incite anything. You know what I'm saying?
That
because
part.
you have people that follow Kendrick. You got people that follow J. Cole. You know what I'm saying?
Tupac and Biggie.
So you
But
don't know.
But Kendrick and
That
J.
shit's
Cole not
serious.
really, at least like,
No.
Not trying to question
them,
they- you know
not
what I mean?
them per se.
but the people that
But
be
the
in their
people
circles.
that rock with them,
Kind
not
of
even
honestly,
in the circles, the people
fans in
that
general.
rock with them.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Because now it's they don't listen. Anytime two artists are who are of a certain stature based off of their work are in a clash competitively and lyrically, they're gonna always go, well, this could be a potential.
Hold on.
Biggie
Rewind
and Pac
selector.
thing.
For the viewers, what happened? Why are they in bicker in the first place?
Everybody.
A plant, once again, here we go, taking two wonderful, amazing brothers and just, tearing
Kendrick
them
went
up
ahead
against
and made
each
the
other.
diss record on Future record. What dissed Drake, dissed J. Cole, a couple other people on that record with Future. Just you know what I mean. Just tore
I mean,
Swiss cheese them niggas.
And Kendrick
Nasty.
Why did he do that?
Kendrick's
Why
shit was
did he
kinda
do that?
ill. It was kind of ill.
I see where you trying to do that.
Yeah, because see,
But we
we play into the semantics too much.
Right.
That's the problem.
But this is
Kendrick
the thing.
has been MIA for a minute.
It could be a number of different things because
Maybe he about to
apparently
drop a new
it had
album.
to
He want
have
the
been
attention.
something. It had to have been something.
Publicity
that,
stunt.
Well, it could even be that.
It could be
you know
that.
what I'm saying? But it could also be something that happened so long ago that at this particular time when Kendrick has a channel to be heard on and he has some, because think about it.
You wouldn't expect that on a
Kendrick
Future
ain't-
record.
Kendrick ain't put nothing out in a while.
That's what I'm saying.
J.
And just
Cole
poof.
ain't put nothing out in a while. You know what I'm saying? So
Cole just doing his features. That's
right,
it.
he's doing features and stuff
He
like
been,
that.
yeah, he didn't
Who the hell
take
knows
a
what Kendrick is
hiatus.
doing? You know what I'm saying?
Kendrick took a
Nobody knows
hiatus.
what Kendrick is doing out there. So the thing is,
Behind the scenes.
it could have been something that he says, you know what, I'm gonna take this time right now. Especially you got, because he went after a couple of people. So
He called them people
Yeah.
up and was like, yo, I'm about to pull out a
is
joint, just
Kendrick-
play along
is
with it.
Kendrick
Yeah.
making that
Probably.
many enemies? Is Kendrick
Well,
making
from,
that
from
many
where?
enemies?
He hasn't been that type of artist
Nah, he
ever.
probably let niggas know ahead
but
of
see,
things
this
like,
is
yo,
the thing.
listen, I got records
He
that
called them
listen.
folks up just like
Kendrick is not a
Kanye did
slouch.
with
Let
Taylor
me
Swift.
keep it a buck with you. Kendrick is not a slouch.
You can make an argument he's the best MC in the
I
game
know
today.
he's not a slouch. I know this man is a genius and just creative
No,
within his own right.
I'm talking about on some Cali hood shit.
Oh yeah,
This
he from
nigga is not a
he
slouch.
he tied in.
Okay, I understand that.
You know what I mean?
So
He tied in.
It could be that he's like, man, y'all niggas think I'm soft or something. So you know what I mean? It could be that.
Let me show y'all. Yeah.
Let me. You know what I mean?
But what
Because
did they do
his-
behind the
his
scenes to him?
image artistically, it's not
he's nice.
that particular
person, yeah.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
who's the best
He's
lyricist?
a very artistic
who's
dude.
the best artist? Who's the best lyricist?
You gotta say you gotta say Kendrick
But you
because
say
Cole
J.
went ahead and
is a very
bowed out.
artistic dude too. You know what I'm saying?
He's very-
J. Cole's a dope
He's
dude.
But I can't give him that number one spot because you bowed out. I understand the reasons.
No, he didn't bow out. Maybe he was just being a man.
I'm talking about like I'm talking about right now. I'm not talking about all the time. Like this,
I'm not giving him number one now. Right now.
So who would you give it to right now?
Are you kidding me?
Huh?
You gotta give it. That's they wanted to.
He said right
who you gonna give it to
now.
right now?
Nigga, let's Drake.
Are you kidding me?
Y'all niggas with this Drake nigga.
Wait, you giving Drake number
I can't give it to no nigga that don't write his rhymes.
Or just overall,
You know what I'm saying?
Drake.
Because at the
I
end of
can't
the
give
day,
it to no nigga that don't write his rhymes. I can't, bro.
But he's making more money as an artist.
I'm not even
Drake
looking
is
at
up there.
money. I'm just looking at
What?
this
He's
brother
a wonderful
is out there
entertainer.
working, and he's doing what an artist is supposed to be doing.
Oh,
at this time.
I can agree on that.
I'll say this.
He's putting out the work.
Drake is the best entertainer out right now.
Absolutely.
Right, and he's entertaining his audience.
But you of all people know there's a difference between entertainment and hip hop. When I think of Drake, I think when I think of hip hop, I think of Kendrick.
He's all
I
of the
think
above.
of J. Cole. I don't think of Drake.
Do you think about that with Mary? Do you think about that with Beyonce? Do you think about that with all these R&B singers that none of them really write their own shit?
But have
It's different, though.
But have you
It
noticed
ain't
something?
different. They all making music.
Still.
They all writing. I mean, they all singing words that somebody else gave them and music that somebody else did for them.
Hip hop, but hip hop a blood sport, man. It's different, man. Hip hop is different. That's what makes hip hop different than everything else. I cannot call you the best artist out here in hip hop if you don't write your own rhymes.
I'm not. Listen, hold up. Time out.
Rewind
Flag on the
selector.
play. Listen,
He
I ain't
said
saying
flag on
Drake's
the
the
play.
best artist out here, like right now. But what I'm saying
As
is,
a man working hard.
Drake is doing his job.
Okay, all right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
He's maximizing the window of opportunity that he has.
He definitely
and
is. He
has
definitely
been doing
is.
it for quite a few years.
Nobody
He definitely
ain't
is.
out.
Nobody
Nobody
is.
ain't
That's a
out
fact.
working Drake.
That's a
But
fact.
let me
J.
say
Cole
something.
had the window.
Mm-hmm.
He, for whatever reason, he stopped doing stuff.
But let me
he
let
let
me
the window close.
Let me say
Kendrick
this.
I
had it.
agree.
For some reason, he let the window close.
Because he got that people need breaks. Drake don't want the break. But let me say this. I've noticed that when it comes to beef in the industry, right, in the hip hop industry, the men are more easier to make amends and work it out. But the females, they stay in it. Like Nicki and Cardi, like they just not letting out. I'm like, damn, they need to like let it out. Meek Mills and Drake made up. You know, don't laugh at it. What's going on?
Because you know why? Even when things,
Meek Mill worry about academics.
Even when you come to
On
an
this time.
accord, women have a tendency. I ain't gonna say always. Women
I
have a
may agree
tendency
with us.
of
Yep.
taking a shot inadvertently. It might be in your nature. You know what I'm saying? They'll take a shot at somebody, or take a shot when necessary, or when the opportunity arises. You know what I'm saying? So even when something,
But why they not making up like the men? J. Cole with only 24 seconds and he's apologetic.
Because
You know why?
Because they know
Y'all petty as hell.
No, it ain't even got
Say
nothing to do with
what now?
petty. It ain't even got anything to do with petty. The thing is,
We are.
women know that they got a bigger fight just to get a portion of what the men are getting.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a
so
perspective.
now,
Thank
at
you.
the same time,
I think they ruining hip hop.
you still have a point where the women. All right, this is the thing.
But just leave the hip hop
Listen,
out. Just in general.
No, but
women
this is what I'm saying.
are not easy forgiven as
Right,
you
and
men.
they're not easily forgiven. And at this time, as far as the
Yeah,
female
Foxy and Kim still can't get along.
As far as the female MCs is
crazy.
concerned, what man are they going to target? Ain't no brothers out there doing it like that.
Fact.
So it's
Ain't
easy
no
for them to make
they,
amends.
They're not going to come at Drake. You know what I'm saying?
They want to get on song with Drake. Shit.
Right. They want to
Oh,
eat
sorry.
with him because
Yeah.
Drake
is that guy.
Drake is doing music for the same audience that they doing their music
So
for.
So this is the reason why Nicki and all these people are not going to ever make amends, because it's just a little bit harder for them in the industry.
No. What I'm saying is, they have it creates more of a competitive nature.
I see.
As an artist, you already got this fight. You got this fight.
Mm-hmm.
So now, although I may have this fight and we good for now, but that's it for now because it can always be different later.
That's a fact.
That's a sad situation.
You know what I'm saying?
Here.
But the thing is this. At least,
but see, one thing with women know
about their business when need be.
Yeah, I agree.
The men are being really, really emotional right now.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas out there, y'all being real emotional, and I don't
Coming
understand
from a
it.
man.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the truth.
Both of you guys are agreeing with that statement?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I take it.
Niggas is being real emotional. That's how we got
Niggas
to
is
this
females and
conversation.
females is niggas now.
Your man
that's
J.
the-
Oh,
Cole
God, that don't
wanted to
sound
go
right.
hard, you know what I'm saying? And he probably realized I didn't hit the mark. So let me try to backpedal this up and apologize because maybe in Bizarro world, it'll be looked at like a good gesture. Nigga, we ain't in the Bizarro world.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
We in this world right now.
The
No.
testosterone
It's hip hop, nigga. We don't apologize for shit.
So
Oh,
come
man,
on,
this is
You dig what I'm
crazy.
saying? If you going,
And I love Cole. That broke, man.
Listen, and he did it. Right. See, he knew that niggas didn't like that verse.
Yeah, he did. He
He
did.
knew niggas didn't like that verse.
He
So
did.
he went and watched, but
He
you can
did.
always come back again.
knew
Why?
that
Why?
his shit was subpar,
He did.
and he tried to meet them. He tried to like lessen the blow of the failure that he did with that verse, because that
Facts.
verse was
He
not
said,
in
"Lessen
it.
the
I
You know
agree.
what I'm
blow
saying?
failure."
He probably had a line in it. That's it.
Okay, so could he come back again? Why just not
No.
come back?
Nah, it's
again?
but
He can come
you can't dish him. It's over.
He can come back. He need to just sit
Just
down.
stick to- just
and
stick
go
to do
back
what you
to
do.
the
Didn't
studio
Nas and
start
Jay go
thinking
at it,
about,
you
know
know?
what I'm saying?
Didn't
Riding his bike
Yeah,
again.
go ride his bike down to West Fourth.
Nas and
he
Jay,
need to just,
Nas and
you
Jay
know,
beef. Didn't they go back and forth a couple of times?
creative.
Yeah, I
You know,
thought it was gonna be on that type of level, but
Right?
you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like so. And that's my thing. Before we go ahead and switch to the next topic, hip hop just losing its competitive edge. Cause nowadays it's kind of like either things like this happen or niggas is taking shit too personal.
Did it start off as a competitive thing?
It's a lot.
It started off competitive.
It's a lot. I mean, because you can be competitive, but then competitive gets into petty.
Yeah,
it
and then
gets into
disrespect.
personal,
Was it
Yeah.
competitive
gets
or
into
was it
disrespect.
creativeness back then?
It gets into a
They-
lot of
everybody
different
had their
things. You know
creative
what I'm
aspect.
saying? So if you and another artist are having a
battle?
sparring match. Let's just say a lyrical sparring match. You know what I'm saying? It should never be, I'm trying to tear you down or whatever. I'm trying to just do my best.
I'm just
And
trying to
my
win.
best can
It's like-
outbest your best if it's better.
It's like
But
basketball.
it
Niggas be on the
shouldn't
court trying to beat each
outbest-
other's brains out, but after the game over, good game, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's all.
My best shouldn't be at the expense of your demise.
Mine. Exactly. That, and that's where we have to go ahead and get back to, especially
back to
for
that.
the culture.
Right. Let's get back to making dope
Yeah.
records.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
People were just so artistic.
Then y'all
They
can
had
make
great
some
artistic
money in this game.
ability.
You know what I mean? Cause
You ain't got to worry about making $1,000 off of 1 million streams.
streams, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Go
The
back
hell
to
is
making
wrong
real
with
money.
y'all?
It's all about quality music at the end of the day or whatever, and it's a lack of quality music
In your
in certain
opinion?
circles or whatever. I mean, it started to come back. It started to come back last year, with the 50-year anniversary, and you was hearing a lot of dope music toward the end of last year. But the top of the year, I ain't gonna fly. From the top of the year to now, I haven't been really satisfied with the music that's been coming out like that. I feel like it's kind of
Let's get in there.
going back to being a little subpar again. Me personally.
I think the vehicle has to be retuned because you have a saturation, you have an oversaturation of music that's being put out. You have a redundancy of music that's being put out. Nobody is really out there expressing themselves. Hip hop was really about expression.
Facts.
It's a form of self-expression. It's not a form of copycat expression.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
That's hilarious.
So
You know what I mean?
let's get back to
Originality.
looking in the mirror and say, who the fuck am I? Who the fuck am I?
Facts.
I'm that.
How do I want to be heard? Do I want to be heard like him? Do I want to be heard like her? How do you want to be heard?
You can always
I
do the
agree,
puppy
and
remix.
let's keep it in that line of things as we go to our next topic. 23 million YouTube music royalties heist. So basically, you had someone pretending that they owned a bunch of songs that they stole from up-and-coming musicians and artists, and they literally made $23 million off of royalties. So this is where somebody like you comes into play. Because you know when people don't copyright their songs and get the proper
certain
Right,
codes,
right,
certain
right.
numbers,
certain codes that he's supposed to get. You know what I'm trying to say.
register
Well, I
with
mean,
the BMI.
that goes into a long list of ways that could happen. You know what I'm saying? I mean, copyrighting a song is one thing because it allows you to license it out. So now, if you own the copyright to it, then you can license it out for a one-time fee. You can license it out.
Soulja Boy was doing
to
that
different
before.
companies. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
you know what I'm
he's
saying?
a
Like,
genius. He's another
you know,
genius.
I mean, you know, like there's certain things that happen, you know, throughout the last 20 years, let's say, or the last 30 years, you know, that is amazing how much money people made, but then how much money people lost. You know what I'm saying? So
By not dotting your I's and crossing your T's.
right. So when you start talking about licensing music, then if you have a publishing company and you own the copyright, you move the music under your publishing, you know, and there's different little ways of doing that, you know what I mean? And you can accumulate. I mean, if you're taking if you're taking a whole lot of songs, a whole lot of music,
A catalog.
and copywriting, you know, you got to be talking about at least 100, 200 songs or something like that. You know, it has to be a list of songs because, you know, outside of anybody famous, whose song is really making noise like that? You have songs that
Accumulation,
break through. Right,
yeah,
you got songs that break
was.
through. This one might have a little noise. This one might have a little noise or whatever. You know, you got one artist that might come through 500,000 streams or whatever, and you know, whatever the case is, and you know, and on top of that, you talk about ad money.
We
that
need a
comes
to-do
on- that
list.
comes
We need
from
a
that.
to-do list,
You know.
and this plays a role in the business aspect when it comes to your music. You have to know when you create a song, what are the necessary steps that you have to do to make sure you protect your song, to protect your album, and to protect you as an entrepreneur, because that's exactly what you are.
Rundown.
Where do you upload your music onto? What numbers do you need? How do you register it? How do you put yourself into the system as the writer of the song? How do you put yourself in the publicist as the engineer of the song? These are some of the things that I guess in the near future we're just going to break down step by step, because it's very important. You cannot, that right there, I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know as an artist what step by step what you need to do. You know, to make sure
and
that your songs are registered properly under your name, and so no one can steal your intellectual property, because
So
that's what it is.
we don't gotta give them the whole shebang, but today, can you just give them like some tidbits and how we could tie that
Right.
into?
As a good segue.
Yeah. What is
it,
because you
BMI?
created a good segue. No, not the music. Let's just talk about the business
The business
side.
part.
Because that would all tie into
Financial literacy.
your financial
Business.
literacy, because your name
Trademarks.
is your business.
LLCs,
You know what I'm
things
saying?
like that.
Whether it's your stage name or whether it's your other name.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So there are many ways that you can go about doing it, but if you're an artist, the first thing that you want to possibly think about to do is trademarking your stage name, trademarking your actual government name. You can do that as well, and you
wow,
can
okay.
copyright that, and you can get an LLC. Hopefully, if nobody don't have your name, you can get an LLC under your government name as well. So that is, you know, giving you some coverage. But we're gonna go deep into it when it comes to like actually registering your actual songs and your music. So that's just the
Right.
the
Okay,
licks and
that
cookies.
sounds great.
And then
That sounds
we can
great.
go over to the
You know.
next step, because once you do that, then you can start to
There's-
brand
there's-
yourself,
there's
right?
another level,
Right,
though.
there's another level. Artists need to know right now in 2024, there's so many ways to make money, right? And yeah, you can go and sign yourself to a major record label or whatever, but right now there's so many ways that you can brand yourself and that you can start making your money, right? Because have your artistic abilities, you can have merch, you can really bring it to another professional level and start making your own money without having nobody. Because we're in 2024, we got YouTube, TikTok for however long we're going to have it here in North America, because I don't know what's going on with that. But we have so many other platforms that you can use. You got Patreon, right? Because now you can actually brand, you can bring out your personality. You can do funny skits and then inject your artistic music into it, right? There's a young lady who for as long as I have been watching her was teaching law. And I didn't even know she was an artist. So she just got a whole fan base, right, by understanding the law, learning the law, teaching it, right, and having her law package. And then, boom, she put her music out there. So she had all of these followers who were able to not only see her from, teaching law, but now her music.
So she got a core base already.
She got a core base already, right? And now they're respecting her on that level and know she's an intelligent being because she's teaching law. She has her law package. She's teaching you so many other things.
Now tell them how important it is to have a core base.
It is very, very important right now. Everybody is so damn nosy, all right? If you just start going on the internet, going on your rant, speaking about whatever you want personally, believe me, you're going to get a following because everyone's nosy. Everybody want to know about everybody's business. So this is the best time for you to put your music out by being a little bit personal. You don't have to tell people your whole business, but you can do that. But before you do that, make sure everything is registered. Make sure your LLCs is in place. Make sure that you copyright your name and make sure you know how to protect your intellectual property. It's very easy now.
Now, if they want to know more information, as far as like a step further, they don't know how to do certain things and they want assistance with those things, how could they contact you?
Consultation, you can go on kashaka8k.com and you can have a consultation. It will definitely break some things down to you because it's that time. We're in recession right now. I really want to say the government's trying to do you know what, but I'm not going to say it. We're in recession right now. We're in inflation right now, and so right now it's time to use your intelligent mind to manifest your legacy and get things going for yourself. It's easy, and make sure you reframe your mind from thinking that everybody's doing it. I'm not gonna make it. That you are the one carbon copy in this world. No one is you. No one is you. You can take whatever someone else is doing and do it your way. And that's where you're going to get your followers going to do. There was a picture of all these different type of brands of bread. And each bread was being sold, right? You had the Wonder brand, you had this brand, you had the wheat bread, you had this. They're all being sold because they all have their own different ingredients and they're all bread. You are your own carbon copy, right? You got your own fingerprint. They're over here. I guess they got copies of our palms now from what I'm seeing the other day. So you take what you know how to do best and you make it work for you. Reframe your mind.
That's dope. So in that note, you might as well go ahead and sign off.
Yes, we're going to sign off.
Yeah, for everybody that's looking to, upgrade your lifestyle. And if you're looking to upgrade your lifestyle and you're looking to liberate yourself, we're not talking, anything outlandish, but there are means that you can put yourself in a better position and allow yourself an opportunity that you
more freedom
would not get anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? Now, God is Kia and myself, we're very much into assisting our people to getting them where they need to be from a
Get them the help that they need.
Basic level. I just want to keep it simple.
One step at a time.
Let's just stick to the basics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's get you situated so that you can survive out here in the sea of commerce. Go to shaka8k.com. SHAKA, the number 8, the letter K.com.
Book a consultation. Yes.
We will help you. We will assist you on your journey. And we have classes that we do. We have study groups that we do going from Sunday through Thursday. You know what I'm saying? We have private classes on Sunday and Tuesday.
Absolutely.
And we have a public forum Mondays and Wednesdays. So get with us and let's see, you know, where we can take it for you.
All that information gonna be in the description box. Pretty much, y'all know what it is. It's your boy King Haas, one half of Paparazzi TV, PBR, one half of the PBR podcast as well. It's gonna be a dope summer. A lot of good things going on, man. Y'all know what it is. It's the first official episode. Welcome to the 10 Toes Down podcast. Y'all rock with us. Yeah. Holler at us. We here, man. You know what I'm trying to say? We here, we grind, we working, we out.